Hello, hello, hello. It's November 29th, 2023, SIG Node CI weekly meeting. Welcome, everybody. Today, agenda is empty. We mostly will do triage, making sure that we are ready for release, and also triage bugs. And Dixie will be hosting bug triage today. As a reminder, if you're interested to host any part of this meeting, please sign up. Everybody, welcome. Okay, let me share my screen so we can look at the screen together. You should be able to see my screen now. And we got SIG Node. Look at the release blocking test, and we have the same problem as before. This creation of 10 pods failing sometimes, and a couple tests with device plugin and graceful shutdown. It didn't change much. I mean, the recent round was quite failing more, but there were flakes before that, so it's not a new problem. Okay, on the kubelet side, yeah, I bet it's eviction. No, not eviction. Okay. Okay, it's all green now. It used to be flaking. Swap Fedora. Okay. It's no an issue. Yeah, swap. So yeah, it's all seems to be known issues. I'll just quickly go through that. Yeah, sometimes it fails to start. I guess it's not a big problem right now. Before release, 10 pods. Okay, I don't remember this one. It's failing for a while. Okay, let me change the size. Yeah, failing 11.18, quite a long time ago. Yeah, I feel that's a new test. Maybe it was during sidecar container. Yeah, this is interesting that it's failing, and failure is very strange. Very index parsing unable. Maybe worth looking at. So I think if my memory serves me right, this test was introduced when we released alpha version of sidecars, and somebody enabled it, and after node reboot, init containers were not called again, or like they were called again, opposite. So that may be a regression, because we definitely fixed it. I will make a note of this. Does anybody remember this failure before?
I've never seen it before. I just looked at the test code. So it's trying to parse the pod logs and wonder if it's failing to get them for some reason in some cases.
Okay. I will try to follow up. And I see a new agenda item today. We will get back to it when we will finish the test grid. Okay, Raven?
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks.
Okay. This is it. It seems to be a new failure there. Yeah, same metrics point. That's the point. Something wrong with this metrics endpoint. It's failing on many jobs. I don't remember this failure, so it's worth checking if we have a bug for this already. If not, I will create one and try to understand if it's a regression.
It's probably the same one as the one I pasted there, so we can
okay.
talk about it later.
Okay, that's great. So Raven, do you want to talk about this?
Yeah. So this is a failure here that Sergey, if you scroll to the right of the code snippet in the description, that when querying resource metrics, that is a test that is failing, and it is failing because in 129 we deprecated this script underscore error metric and replaced that with something else. So in 129.0 and after, this metric, this deprecated one, will be hidden from that endpoint. So that's why the test is failing, because the test expects this metric, but the metric is hidden. This one is currently failing on the Containerd CI, blocking all Containerd PRs. That's why I found this. So yeah, I just removed this deprecated metric from the test. So that's what this is about. And also, so the failure, Sergey, you just saw on the test grid, that seems to be the same test, but yeah, we can double check and make sure it's the same reason.
I think it needs to be urgently fixed then, right?
Yeah, yeah. Once we have a released 1.29.0 version, the test will be failing. Right now, it's not failing everywhere because we're testing against 1.29.0-alpha, which is considered to be older than 1.29.0. And that's the reason why the metric is not hidden there. But once we have a released version, the metric will be hidden and the test will start failing.
Okay, I also mentioned SIG instrumentation, and yeah, it looks good. Thank you for finding it and fixing it quickly.
Yep, cool. Thanks, Sergey.
Okay. Yeah, so this is a regression indeed. And yeah, because of that, I see so much red here. It's not typical. Oh, prior. Same metrics. It's eviction. Okay, peak pressure eviction. It's long-standing issue. Yeah, this wouldn't even start. Swap metrics. Metrics. Okay. DRA.
Sergey, one update on evented flag test case. We're seeing that there's an issue with the pod workers. We don't know the root cause it, but the issue is in pod workers where two events coming back to back. The pod worker waits for a update on a channel, right? And when it falling through on that wait, let's say another event comes in, it gets ignored, and that's the root cause of the issue right now for the evented flag job.
Okay, so this failure, right?
Well, there's an update from Ramesh might have said something, but if he has not updated the bug, that's so I can verbally tell you what's going on. We need to make sure the pod worker is somehow aware that there might be event coming in while it's in an unblocked state.
Yeah, I still added it to the known issues for 129. We will mention it as like very vaguely. If you have updated text for this, please share if you know
Sure,
like
sure,
more
yeah.
information.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. D-Ray, hot topic. Snowflakes. Okay, very minimal. Again, testing start. It submits. Okay, so this is new. It's a alpha feature, so I wouldn't block on that, but we probably need to investigate later. I don't know if you have a bug for that. Okay. Okay, pod resize. Yeah. Black is what we discussed right now. Oh no, it's metrics. Yeah, 10 pods. Yeah, I think we really need to look into this 10 pods test. Okay, I think we're done. Yeah, I think we're ready for release. I don't want to go any deeper right now. Okay. So let's quickly triage what we have on a board, and then we'll go to bugs. Okay, this is what we just discussed. I think, it's approver. Yeah, I think I approved it, but we still need release managers to approve it. Terminated pod volume flag on kubelet is removed. Sounds like it's a code change. I will just move it away from this board.
This is me, and on second attempt, this time I will run the lane before proposing for review. Yeah, work in progress, waiting on author, but yes, it's test related. Thanks.
Yeah, I think this is work in progress and not related to us. So I will just archive it out. Yeah,
This is scheduler. I'm not sure why it's Node, but it's scheduler mostly.
yeah, this is a code change and not related to this group. Scalar again. This triage is easy. Everything is unrelated to us.
This is a code change again, not for testing. Well, it does test, but still.
Yeah, typically if it's mostly test, we will keep it here. But Yeah.
No, it's not most. It has test, but it's mostly product change.
Snowflakes. Okay. Okay, so we need to understand if it's release blocking. Let's test again. Yeah, those are flakes, so I wouldn't block release on the flakes.
I think that all but the first one boils down to the fact that when we restart the kubelet and we try to access the pod resources API, which those tests are consuming, it fails to connect. So this is what my previous attempt tried to fix and failed. So I'm aware I will try to push a fix as soon as possible. But yes, there should be flakes.
Yeah, but it's not a like regression, right?
No. I think luckily it's not a regression. It's just an issue about how to properly connect to the socket. Yes.
And yeah,
The first one I don't know.
flake. Yeah, this is a flake that we saw for a long time. It's basically timeout. We're running a little bit longer than timeout. Floating cloud resources.
This one I improved in the past. Basically, it boils down to the fact that to access the rate limiting, we try to, we record the time and we expect some failures. So it's another known issue and need to figure out how to properly, to reduce the flakes, to zero the flakes.
And first one. Okay. I think this is done. Market is to do, but I hope we can start looking at it after we release and everybody come back from holidays. Okay, we're done with this. Dixie, do you want to take over?
Sure. Or you need to allow me to share the screen.
Yeah, I made you co-host, yeah.
Starting with this one. The service account token projected volume is not refreshed during graceful shutdown. In our application, we are using managed identities and graceful shutdown. It turned out that when pod received SIG signal and starts the graceful shutdown process, the service account projected volume stops being refreshed, which causes an exception like this. Client assertion is not within the valid time range. The expectation is service account token projected volume should be refreshed until the pod is fully terminated. The reproduction steps are have a long running process during graceful shutdown that reads service account token. Say God node. So should this be on us? I think so. Instead of say God, it should be on us. Or maybe because it's about volumes, it should be on SIG storage. Let me see if there is more details. Cloud provider Azure. It's in 127.3, so it's runtime related.
Yeah, it looks like a node issue. We stopped sync loop after when graceful, like when deletion timestamp is set.
Mhm.
And it's one of the problems that we also need to address for sidecars. We need to keep restarting sidecars, and I think we need to keep refreshing the source account tokens. So yeah, I think it's node related.
Okay. So does anyone want to look into it?
Triage accepted. Yes, I think we just need to triage accepted. If anybody interested to take a look and understand where we do it exactly, it will be great. Otherwise, we will just need to move to triaged.
Okay. Sergey, I can take a look at this one, but I will need your help.
Okay.
Okay. We need to move this.
Yes, please.
The unit for huge pages is a page which is not equivalent to bytes of memory. So when dealing with huge page resource, the unit of resource is an entire page, typically either 2 megabytes or 1 gigabyte. Unit of resource is not amount of memory bytes. Users of huge pages resource request X number of pages, not X amount of memory. In our use of resource topology exporter, NumaWare scheduling plugins, we are seeing inaccurate reporting of huge page resources. For instance, our compute worker nodes have two NUMA cells, and each NUMA cell has 256 GB of RAM. Of that 256 GB, we create 224 1 GB huge pages that we are able to allocate to the workloads on the node. Unfortunately, when we look at the amounts reported for each NUMA cell, we get this. Value 10, node 1, this, okay. Allocatable is 58, available is this. Are these, what are these resources? Are these the huge pages? No.
So this is a third-party component which reports the same resources kubelet does. So I think the ask here is the way Kubernetes and then this third-party component report huge pages. So the kubelet reports the same, reports huge pages in terms of how much memory you can use, not how many huge pages you have. Yes, I was looking at this previously. So let's just put aside the third-party components. The ask here, huge pages should be, number of huge pages, not how much memory you want. And this is an accept of get node kubectl get node, which tells us, okay, you see, even core Kubernetes report huge pages in terms of memory, not in terms of huge page count. So if you have 16 huge pages of 1 gig, you should see, according to the request here, 16, not 16 gigabytes.
Oh, I see.
Now, my own take is that makes sense. However, I believe this train left the station long ago. So changing the representation, even though I agree the proposed one is more correct, will be challenging to see the list. So I said triage accept this because yes, this is something we should discuss, but I'm skeptical we are going to change anytime soon, if ever.
I see. Okay.
So
So-
for 2 megabytes, we'll show 4 if it's 2 pages.
Yeah, well, you will see huge page. If you have, for example, 4 2 megabytes huge pages, you will have 8 megabytes, whatever in bytes, whatever in 8 megabytes it is in bytes, and not let's say 8. And the same. I should clarify this, but in this example, I have 16 1 gigabytes huge pages. So yeah, again, memory, not units. I
Okay.
agree, because the thing is you cannot allocate half of few megabytes from 1 gigabyte huge page. You either get the full huge page or nothing.
Yeah.
So makes sense, but can we change that now? I can't say.
I see. Okay.
So I would rephrase it as a feature request and try to understand why exactly we need it.
Yeah,
Because
that's a good point.
if you only need it for like to make API more logical, then the train is unfortunately left the station already.
Yeah.
Okay. So should I change it to kind feature? Sergey?
Yeah, and remove kind bug.
Yeah, I want to go over this one first. Enabling in-pod vertical scaling feature gate causes restart of containers within the cluster. I just read it, so yeah, it shouldn't cause the restart of containers when the resource, when the config is changed. But here, when you enable this feature, you still observe the event after restarting API server. It says container XXX definition changed, hence it will be restarted. And they have also pointed out to the logic that's restarting the container since the container spec change, which is the default logic, and the steps to verify. So I think yeah, this is an issue, but I'm not sure who do I assign it to.
Is it by design?
Uh,
I mean,
I don't think it should restart the container though.
API does only says that we will try not to restart. So you can specify that pod is or like container is okay with restart, but you can't tell please don't restart at all.
Oh, is it mentioned anywhere in the cap or the design?
Yeah, it's mentioned in the cap.
Okay, maybe I can point to
Yeah,
that.
maybe you can cross-link with a cap. It will be minimum thing we need to do.
I'll try to look for it right now. If not, I'll do it later.
That's quick.
This is not the
Or not.
kept, right? This is just the issue. Okay, I'll just keep it open and do it after the meeting then. CPU resource quota doesn't recycle. So I create a resource quota on namespace with hard limit CPU 4000 C, is that 4000 cores? And memory 1.6 debibytes, but the used CPU is 3997. The real usage is 134 C. Why? Give total top, use protocol buffers. This C134 here. Give total get resource quotas. The real usage is this. Okay. The expectation is cube cuddle. We expect the resource used of CPU is cube cuddle tops value. Create a resource quota, then create a lot of pod to use full resource, then recycle it. The used isn't the current value. 121 is no longer supported. Can you test with the version that is still supported? Okay.
Yeah, just need move it to needs information, please.
Kubelet logs filling up with error. Pod exists in volume failed to find expandable plugin. Okay, this is the error message. The expectation is for the error to stop. How to reproduce it? It's not clear what's causing this error. The version is 124. Cloud provider is local Rancher deployment. OS version is CentOS. Okay. container runtime, Docker engine, Docker community.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it's SIG Node. I think it's it may be just SIG storage. I'm not sure what this plugin does. What is this plugin?
Yeah.
An expandable plugin.
So what do we want to say here then? And are we triaging the Docker container runtime issues anyway? Where is this error coming from? We don't know. Pod exists in volume failed to find expandable plugin. And this is local Rancher deployment.
Yeah, so it seems to be a new feature in 124. I found a blog post talking about expandable plugin. I would just assign to SIG storage and remove SIG Node for now.
Is that plugin like owned by SIG Storage?
I would say so, yes.
Okay. Should I remove SIG?
Yes.
Oh, this is triage accepted. Windows mutate additional kubelet configuration fields on join. During join of Windows worker node, we download kubelet config from the cluster as usual, then we apply some mutations, notably around problematic path with drive on Windows. Is kubadium, but we are missing some more fields that do not work on Windows. The kubelet defaults for enforce node allocatable is equal to pod or cgroups per QS is equal to true are simply rejected on Windows with error. Fail to validate kubelet configuration, invalid configuration. This is not supported on Windows. Why are these defaults? Who knows? They are, but that's not OS portable. Okay. What can be done is override the default similarly to this. Okay, but using kubelet config this.
What version is it reported on?
Say that again.
Does it say which version it reported to? From which version it became a default, I guess.
I don't think so. Do you want me to click on these links and check which version it became the default on?
Yeah.
See. I'm not sure. Let
Yeah,
me.
I guess, I mean, I guess we need to approve it, like triage approve, accept at least, but then we need to understand whether it's a regression for this version, and if it is, then you may consider to do uh, patch release, like in a patch version, fix this bug.
Okay. Do we want to get the version on which they are trying? The Kubernetes version?
Yeah, you can ask. That would be nice.
Okay.
Just
So should I move it to needs information for now?
yeah, I guess we can move to this information. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Higher CPU when pods are placed in a single namespace. So when this person was testing with benchmarking runs, it was observed that if we place the pod in a single names, if we place the pods in a single namespace, the reported CPU usage is much higher than if we distribute those pods across multiple namespaces. When all 6006 pods are created in the same namespace, the kubelet slice exceeds 12 cores. However, when dividing this across 4 namespaces, capping each namespace to 2000 pods, the node's CPU maxes out at 5 cores. Okay. Corresponding Prometheus query, this becomes an issue on smaller cloud nodes with 8 vCPUs. When excessive CPU use causes the nodes to thrash, skipping metrics collection and presents a poorly performing workload. Changing the config to break iterations into namespace. Okay. The goal is to understand why the CPU usage compounds. Okay. Memory, network, and memory demands on node stay constant. You observe, okay. CPU consumption should remain the same whether we run the pod in single namespace or distribute across this. Okay. How can we reproduce? Okay. Anything else we
Like
should know?
Harshal is in a call. Harshal, do you
Yeah,
want
I'm here. Yeah. So yeah, we were running these test cases, and to be frank, we don't know why we see it, or is it something wrong? The metrics are reporting, but it's not very intuitive to know why we are seeing the higher CPU usage reported by metrics when we run the pods and the CPU usage is coming from the worker nodes. Initially, I thought maybe the control plane is getting stressed out, and not really. It's coming from the worker node. At least it is getting reported from the worker node. So yeah, that's something. I thought it would be good for a wider community to also see. Maybe we are missing something. We don't know.
Okay.
I try to provide as much detail as possible. If there's something missing, just ask on the issue, and I'll provide the info.
Yeah, I'm trying to think how the CPU shares are mapped, right? Like in each C group. Maybe we can add David and other people to look at it as well and just have their opinion on this, Sergey.
Yeah. So the pods are running on different nodes, except they are just in a single Kubernetes namespace.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Initially, I also thought that maybe the pods are running on same node, but not really. They share the Kubernetes namespace. I get a
I
feeling
see.
that maybe something is not right the metrics reporting, but I couldn't pinpoint it. I couldn't narrow it down to that. Just my hunch says that maybe metrics aren't correctly reporting it.
I see. Okay. Are there other ways to see like how the metrics are actually tracked and then just use those plain queries to get those metrics? I
We
mean,
tried that. Tried like that's why I given all the metrics here. So if someone wants to try, you don't have to run the that benchmark suite that we have. Although it's very simple, you just run it across the Kubernetes cluster. You don't have to have the OpenShift for it. But you could just try with any other reasonable pod which takes a reasonable amount of resources and create number of pods either in same namespace or multiple, and you should be able to see. So during this run, we saw it multiple times. One of the times we were running crazy amount of pods, like plus 2,500 per node, and we saw that initially we thought maybe it's just too much to handle for Kubernetes. So we scaled it down, and it still keep seeing that. So
mhm.
yeah, here we are.
Okay. Okay.
It's not really ideal way to run things. I understand that you should distribute across namespaces, but it's a little intriguing for sure that why such behavior is exhibited.
Makes sense. Okay. So,
So
sir,
you're still not sure if it's a real problem with resource consumption or it's metrics collection.
yeah.
So
It's still-
intuitively speaking, there should not be real consumption problem here, right? Like the pods are running on the nodes, and they're going to consume what they're going to consume. So it's just my intuition. It could be wrong. Yeah, I could be wrong here, and maybe they are really. I wasn't able to measure. These runs happen very quickly, so I didn't get a chance to actually test it on a CPU, like measuring CPUs on the node. But at least the metrics that we usually trust in gathering such data, they report higher usage. So there's that. I've given all the metrics there if in my description, if someone wants to replicate that.
Okay.
Okay. The market has accepted, and if anyone wants to take it, do you want to tag any other people who might have more understanding of this area?
Somebody from monitoring, maybe they can give it a shot once. But I think looking at the node specific description here, they might just send it back to us. But
You can tag SIG instrumentation just in case. Maybe they have opinion.
SIG instrumentation.
Mhm. and ask if they have any opinion.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, this is the same thing. Do we remove from here, Sergey? Because this was the expandable
Yeah,
plugin.
yeah.
Yes, it's okay. Uh, triage accepted also, right?
Yeah, this is accepted. I think this is what Francesco was mentioning about tests.
Yeah. Device plugin fails to connect to new instance of plugin if previous one is terminated. Okay. The kubelet fails to connect to device plugin if the previously running device plugin was connected on the node with the same resource name. Kubelet can get into the situation of running two pods advertising the same device plugin for a brief period of time. For example, consider the following situation of vendor hypothetically upgrading the device plugin. Kubelet runs first device plugin, advertising resource this. Device vendor upgrades the device plugin to second plugin and user deploys it. Kubelet switches to use second device plugin, advertising okay, the same thing. User deletes the first device plugin. Prior to 125, Kubelet would handle this situation on step 4. Disconnect of first device plugin would ensure that the first device plugin would be disconnected and maintain the connection to second device plugin. This regressed as a part of this. Refactor all device plugin logic into separate plugin package under device manager, which as a part of deletion, Kubelet would disconnect this, and thus gets into the situation where neither first or second device plugin would be connected. This results in Kubelet failing to advertise resources for the device. This is because of a bug where Kubelet only stores the state of most recently connected plugin and on disconnect disconnects the most recently connected plugin. Okay, so this is a regression like David has mentioned here. Verified to running. Okay, this is very detailed. Triage accepted. Okay. Francesco, are you working on this?
Not yet, and I forgot to set the property as board state, but we should. It's looks really looks like a regression in device manager. And for 129 is not really a regression specific for 29. It was there at least for 3 releases, so it's severe but should not be blocking in my opinion.
Okay. And you said for 129, the issue does not exist? Or
No, no,
should it?
it exists, but it's not
Oh,
new in 29.
okay, I see. Okay, so this is already triage accepted. Are there any other people who want to take a look at it? Okay, I'll just move it to triage accepted then. Global mount path will be residual when kubelet restarts. I don't know what that is. In 128, Kubernetes cluster delete pod A using PVC. Acknowledge terminating sync terminating pod enter and pod A's terminating is equal to true. DSW doesn't contain any volume about pod A. ASW reconciler start to unmount volume. Reconciler will execute remove mounter function to remove router pods pod UID. Okay, the mount and the PV name dir after CSI driver finished executing this. Before reconciler executes this, kubelet restarts. When kubelet is at startup stage, it will reconstruct the ASW. What is ASW and DSW here? Not sure. Create pod B. If pod B uses the same PVC, CSI driver will skip node stage volume because global mount volume path is still the mount path. The solution is CSI driver should recheck whether
I would remove SIG node from here. It seems
yeah,
that
who owns
CSI
CSI driver? Okay. Remove SIG node. This is the same thing. Yeah, we are done then.
Yeah, and we have too little time to go through needed information, but we may need to do it next time.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Bye bye.